Hi everyone, Helen Blunden here. Hope you're happy, healthy and well. I was sitting here on a Thursday afternoon on my day off, drinking a cup of hot chocolate and doing my French studies, and I thought, perfect opportunity to talk about the update with my French studies, or the no update. Let's start first with why I learned French. Well, many years ago, I failed high school French. I mean, abysmally, horribly. I don't even know why I did 6 years of French, because I couldn't retain anything. And I thought to myself, now when I thought I'm going to actually learn French and get my level up to an intermediate level, a level where I could be considered dangerous. Not so dangerous anyway, you know what I mean. To a point where I can have a decent conversation with someone out on the street. Obviously not a street here in Melbourne, a street in Paris whenever I'd get to Paris. Maybe I'll never get there, but that's not the point. So I thought I want to be able to talk to someone and talk about the weather and talk about what I'm doing or where I'm from, and talk about my work, or not talk about work, talk about arts, culture, philosophy, history, stuff like that, but in the language, in French. During COVID, first lockdown, scary lockdown, that's such a long time ago now, I started doing my own thing. So I've done a blend of both formal classes, but also a lot by myself, and I've been narrating and documenting how I've been doing that in my blog and also on some YouTube videos, so I don't have to repeat it here. The reason I wanted to learn was basically to overcome this failure that I had as a kid, also get my language skills to a point of about where my Greek is at as well. And I guess another third reason is the fact that there is something about the French culture that aligns to my own values, the values of enjoying and learning about arts, history, culture, philosophy, politics. I guess the freedom of thought, of independent thinking. And there's just something about that which I love and adore. And I thought, what's a great way of understanding a culture? It is learning its language. And so why I learned French. In future, I might pick up another language as well, but I'm not having the same kind of attraction to other languages. If I was to learn another language, it would be Italian, simply because I love Italians. I love their outlook on life. Again, it's that same Mediterranean aspect of freedom of thinking, and I think it's what society actually needs at this point in time, but that's another story. So let me talk about these books that have helped me out immensely. These are the Practice Makes Perfect books. Now, I know there are different ways that you can learn a language. There are tons and tons of different ways. For me, I have to go old school. I can't learn a language simply by using apps like Duolingo, even though they're good to use. For me, it is not a way to learn, simply because if things are on devices all the time, I'm not using, I guess, the practice of writing something down and committing things to memory, but also that feedback and that drill, the skills and the mastery that goes with learning a language. If it's me just tapping it out on the screen, I'm more likely to forget it as opposed to writing it down. For some reason, if I write things down, I commit them to memory the strongest. So the very first book that I bought, quite accidentally I found this just through Book Depository, was A Complete French Grammar. Now, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to grammar. Rather than pick up a crossword puzzle book, I would pick up one of these books, especially this book, because it's got over 2,200 exercises in it. And I have basically done this book inside out and then done it again. I did it twice. One time in pencil, and then the second time I rubbed out all the pencil and I put it in pen. And this just really confirmed and made me learn the different French tenses, which I also have up here behind me. That was the first book. The other book I bought at the same time was French Conversation, and the French Conversation book also has different comprehensive exercises that combine different techniques and practice, where they're talking about different things that two people might talk about in their day-to-day life. Things like making conversations and plans, discussing current events, watching sports, although that wouldn't be me, celebrating and having fun, yeah, that wouldn't be me either. I'd be talking about, oh, look at this, discussing current events. Wouldn't it be great to just do it in French? Yes. Talk about Macron in French. Righto, the third one I bought, but I haven't been using a lot because this is at a higher intermediate level, was French reading and comprehension. Look, I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm just going, for my level at this point, it's a bit too much. The other thing is, look at this, look at this, look at all that French. Like, there's a lot. If you are a learner, there is just a lot of text here in French, and there's a lot of numbers, and numbers in French actually scare the bejeebers out of me. Those who are learning French would probably know what I'm talking about. But the other thing about this book is that, you know, when you're learning French, you don't want to see text up so close. You want to actually have spaces between, so you can actually write what is the English verb, the word to it. So I guess I'm saying it's not a very well thought out book in that sense, because there's just too much text. The other thing that, you know, could be a lot better is they have these vocab boxes, which is fantastic. I love the vocab, but it's vocabulary that you probably never get to use. Like, okay, like what? Provision. When am I going to use the word provision in French? What's another one? Dispositif, mechanism. I'm never going to use that. But you know the other thing that they haven't put in? They've forgotten for the nouns to put the le or the la. So for those learning French, you know that nouns have male and female. So, you know, a table is female, la table. And, you know, heavens help you if you're speaking to a French person and you say le table and you make the table masculine, because they're going to say it's la table. It doesn't have the le or la. And so this is another reason why I'm not using it, because I don't want to always be picking up my phone trying to check, or going online trying to check whether the noun is masculine or feminine. Look, I bought these other three ones as well, French verb tenses, this is a recent one, and French problem solver and French sentence builder. All go through pretty much the same thing. My issue now is I've bought way too much that I don't know where to start from. But I will always go back to the French verb tenses, simply because the more practice I do, the more I reinforce my learning with French. And everything else is just kind of like the nice to haves. I really like doing exercises, and the exercises really are a part of learning, because if you're not doing drills, you're not doing exercises and skill building and getting the feedback from the solutions that are at the back of the book, then you're not really learning as such. But the other thing is, because I've got the information here on my cupboard door, I've got all my verb tenses and tables here, and I've also got typical things that I could say when I'm conversing with my friends in front of the computer. I've got it here so that I could see it. So, and I could insert those little words that kind of make the conversation a little bit more personal and more, I don't know, more real, as opposed to very structured. So that is it to show you. That's all I've got. Let me know how you are learning a language. What language are you learning? How are you learning it? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay then, bye for now.